Halloween special to the Chicago Bears middle linebacker who is truly a monster of the Midway. I would suggest that viewers watch this show with the lights on. For Steve Sable, I'm Harry Callis. Join us next week on NFL Films Presents.
When do you say?
Can you find the office here?
Hello, Mary.
Move a little
I'd like you to
closer.
type a letter for me.
Still can't? Here it is. Introducing GTE MobileNet, the car phone service that turns any car into a highly productive office. We provide the phones and the service, and you make and receive calls the same way you do on your office phone, so you can get more work done. In fact, you may get so much done by the time you get to work, you may not have to go to work. GTE MobileNet, the car phone service everyone's talking about.
Your nearby Dodge dealers are running out of room, so we're offering you 7.5% financing or up to $1,500 cash back on selected 85 Dodge cars and pickups. Your buyer's best deal on Aries, Omnis, Chargers, on full-size Ram.
The Bears got a leg up on the competition early. Against Tampa Bay, quarterback Jim McMahon ran for one touchdown and threw for another in the Bears' 34-14 opening day victory. One week later, McMahon and the offense rang up 27 points, while the defense held Denver scoreless for win number 2. The Packers were Chicago's next victims as Bob Thomas kicked 3 field goals to give the Bears a 9-7 win and their best start since 1978.
I'll tell you what, it's the best start that we've had in a long time. And if we continue defensively and offensively to play like we're playing, and control our central division, we're going to win this thing.
In week 4, playing without the injured McMahon, the Bears' good fortune suddenly took a bad bounce. Following a 38-9 loss to the Seahawks, the Bears continued to struggle in search of consistency, losing to the Dallas Cowboys 23-14. Dropping to 3-2, Chicago's fight to the finish was becoming a war. So against New Orleans in Week 6, the Bears called upon their most heroic foot soldier. Chicago was hungry for a win, and Walter Payton needed only 67 yards to become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Going to Soldier Field is always an event for Bear fans, and this trip was even more special. Few players have earned as much affection as the man known as Sweetness. And typically in Payton's stubborn pursuit of a Bear victory, the record just happened to get in the way.
Walter needs 2 to break the record. High formation. Quick pitch to Walter. Looking for the record. Cuts back. He's got it. He's got it on the 25 and the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown. And that's the equivalent to Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. And listen to the standing ovation.
The motivating drive for me has been for the athletes that have tried, but yet and still have failed to reach that certain achievement. And also the athletes that didn't get an opportunity to, like the Overstreets and the Delaney's and the Brian Piccolos. This simplifies what the game is made of. And what I did out there today is a reflection of those guys, because they made the sacrifices as well. and it's a tribute to me to bestow this honor upon them. Thank you.
By gaining 1,684 yards in 1984, Peyton raced by his competition, and even those he left behind acknowledged his greatness.
What can you say about his running? Just one of the greatest runners that ever played the game. But beyond that, he's a great blocker and a great pass catcher. So he does it all. He's a total offensive player. I just think he's great.
His athletic ability is unique. He boasts speed, strength, and staying power, as well as a determination that makes him unstoppable. Peyton has reached a performance pinnacle that few players ever catch a glimpse of, let alone set foot on. Walter Payton's 13,309 career rushing yards place him above the rest as the National Football League's all-time leading rusher. Offensive lineman Jim Covert, Jay Hilgenberg, Kurt Becker, Keith Van Horn, and Mark Bortz were responsible for laying the groundwork for Peyton and fullback Matt Suhey, number 26.
He's a terrific running back. He has a low center of gravity, and he has the durability of a Sherman tank, and he just keeps going. And he breaks tackles, and he does a lot of it on his own.
The stability of the Bear running game provided a stark contrast to the injuries that marked the quarterback situation. Two major injuries forced McMahon to the sidelines as the season entered the stretch drive. And Steve Fuller, his replacement, battled back from shoulder problems to lead the Bears into the playoffs. Throughout the year, Coach Mike Ditka was forced to start 5 different quarterbacks, and even cast the remarkable Peyton in that role. Making life a bit easier for the various signal callers were receivers like Willie Gault, number 83. In a run-oriented offense, Gault caught 34 passes and averaged over 17 yards per catch. His wingmate, Dennis McKinnon, number 85, latched onto 30 passes, one more than tight end Emory Moorhead, number 87. Chicago's high-tech passing attack was the perfect complement to its hard-nosed running game.
McMahon, Payton to the left. They start McKinnon in motion. And inside handoff around. Payton wants to throw. Back on the left side. He's got the man at the 40. He's to the 30. He may score. He's to the 15 and the 10. He gets to the 5-yard line. First and goal.
Against the Bucks in Week 8, McMahon helped the Bears close out the first half of their season with a 5-3 record and a firm hold on first place in the NFC Central Division. Did Coach Ditka's imagination and daring, the defense took on Iron Mike's toughness. Relentless in its pressure, the Bear defense punished opposing quarterbacks. Defense showcased its special kind of destructive artistry with 11 sacks in a Week 9 win over Minnesota. Then proceeded to deliver an encore performance the following week against the Raiders. When the reigning Super Bowl champions tried to intimidate Chicago with their pride and poise, the Bear defense responded by turning the Raiders black and blue. In a 17-6 win, Chicago's pass rush was like a wrecking ball turned loose in the Los Angeles backfield. The number 95, Richard Dent, emerged from the wreckage with 4 of the Bears' 9 sacks.
There's a wing to the left, slot to the right, back to throw, Mark Wilson. He's going to go down. Another sack. This one by Richard Dent. Richard Dent having a sensational day.
1983, Richard Dent was an unknown rookie. Last season, he was a defensive menace quarterbacks tried desperately to avoid.
When they double team and I'm one-on-one, I expect myself to get to the passer because I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I don't feel like one guy should be able to stop me.
Very rarely could one man stop Dent in 1984, and opposing offenses didn't find much security in numbers either. Number 95 tossed aside all obstacles on his way to leading the NFC with 17.5 sacks. But like all great pass rushes, the success of one individual is the result of the efforts of others. All-Pro Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, Mike Hartenstein, Henry Wachter, and Tyrone Keys joined Dent in a quarterback's nightmare. In 1984, the defense recorded an NFL record 72 quarterback sacks, and the line wasn't the only unit dealing out the punishment.
Whatever the situation dictates, whatever it takes to put pressure on the quarterback, we'll bring them. We blitz just like when you got a headache and need aspirin. You do it as much as you have to get the job done.
Blitzing defensive backs and linebackers left many quarterbacks in dire need of a couple of extra strength pain relievers. Chicago's sack total was impressive, but sacks weren't the defense's #1 priority.
We want to be aggressive, we want to be tough, and we want to attack people. You got to get back there, get your hands in his face, make the guy think about the pressure that you're putting on it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you got to sack him every time.
The constant pressure by the Bear pass rush rewrote more than one quarterback's script, as most passers were forced to seek survival rather than completions. Cashing in on the signal caller's dilemma were defensive backs Leslie Frazier, number 21, Gary Fencing, Mike Richardson, Dave Duerson, and Todd Bell, one of 5 Bear Pro Bowl picks. In 1984, the Bears fielded pro football's top defense, and their valedictorian status was earned by spending a lot of time in the classroom.
And if he comes out with
Chicago's defense not only hit hard, it studied hard under defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan.
If 46 blitz is called on second down.
I think the brain in a player is as good on defense as it is on offense, so we want to give them an opportunity to use that great power that they have.
These rugged scholars also proved their genius in defending against the run. Led by linebackers Mike Singletary, number 50. Otis Wilson, number 55. And Al Harris, number 90. The Bears were the league's toughest team to run on. Taking a handoff against Chicago was like grabbing hold of a hornet's nest, because it was only a matter of time before a running back got stung. While offensive excitement is a new joy for Bear fans, the defense remained a fierce constant in keeping with the team's proud past. Chicago had waited 21 long years for its championship opportunity, and nothing was going to stand in the way.
Morgan, the tight end, Ryan in motion. rolling back to pass as Fuller steps up, throws it deep. He's got goal. He's got it for the touchdown. Fencing showing safety blitz here. Vikes pick it up. Wilson over the middle. Quick pop. It's picked up by Todd Bell. He's to the 25. He's to the 20. 15. 10. 5. Tiptoeing in for the touchdown. Todd Bell. And the Bears have blown the lid off this one.
The Bears went on to win 34-3. And Mike Ditka was showered with affection by a team he had turned into champions after only 3 years as the Bears head coach.
A Delco music system delivers sound so true, you may never stop listening. Nothing else sounds quite like Delco because it's specifically designed to work with the acoustics of your very own GM car while it's still on the drawing board.
Sir, your dessert.
Delco designed in sound. You'll love it too much to leave it.
Dessert, sir.
Hawken is coming your way with a smokeless tobacco that's different from anything else out there. Hawken's got a rough cut that packs better, and that cool wintergreen flavor comes through moist and fresh. So get the taste you've been looking for, that taste that's smooth just the way you like it. Hawken Smokeless Tobacco, the rough cut with a smooth taste.
Tuesday, ESPN Slams and Jams has television's hottest bumps and grinds. AWA Wrestling's cooking up a night of shake and break delights. Our master chefs are a little touchy, so handle with care.
Nobody tells me what to do, boy!
Then the T-Birds want the Outlaws to come out and play. It's a roller derby free-for-all, and there better be a doctor in the house. Next, you're on a collision course for demolition derby thrills as the hits keep on coming. All Tuesday on ESPN.
In the Bears' fight to the finish, the opening round of the playoffs would be their final bout. Unless they could score an upset victory over the reigning NFC champion Washington Redskins. From the outset, the Bears threatened and then proceeded to back their threats.
Yo, 41, hey!
Chicago withstood the Redskins' best punches, then landed telling blows of its own.
Dennis in motion back towards the line. Quick pitch to Walter. Fakes the in around. Walter's going to throw. Man wide open. Touchdown, Dunmore. Here's backfield. Back to throw. Fuller on second down. Square out. Has his man. Goal breaks away. He may score. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. He cuts back to the 30.
Willie Gault's 75-yard scoring pass from Steve Fuller put the Bears ahead 16-3 in the third quarter. But minutes later, the defense gave up a touchdown that tightened the game to 16-10, putting the pressure back on the Bear offense. Washington had never lost a playoff game at home. However, the 1984 Chicago Bears had little regard for the Redskins' sense of history.
Fuller to throw on first down. Has time. Going to run up the middle. Throws on a move. Got his man deep. McKinnon. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
The offense had built a commanding lead, allowing the defense the opportunity to zero in on its favorite target. After flooring Joe Theismann 7 times, the Bears sent the Redskin offense down for the count.
Theismann back to throw. They're out of time. Winds up, throws another high lob down the near right side. And it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Mike Richardson. The game is over, and the Bears have upset the Washington Redskins.
Chicago's 23-19 victory was its first playoff win since 1963. The Bears had once again risen to the heights of their proud past, lifted by a group of men who had proved to be both earth shakers and record breakers. It had been a storybook tale of a team effort, and yet a few individuals had the opportunity to write their own personal chapter. '84 was the Chicago Bears' finest season in 21 years. They had become champions by igniting their competitive fires with the indomitable will to fight to the finish.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation.